Welcome back to another episode of Streetpreneurnetwork. This is the home for small business owners, entrepreneurs, and influencers. And today I have a special guest. He's into health and fitness. He also is a strength coach with over 15 years in the business? 20 years in the business. Excuse me. This guy is definitely a fitness fanatic. He knows everything about it. He's been a veteran in the industry, a long time in the fitness industry. He's worked from everything from baseball players to NFL to NBA, you name it. He's done it all. So I would like to welcome my guest, Mr. Ronnie Kenyatta, to the show.
Good to meet you, Melvin. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you, man. Good to have you here.
Okay, good to be here.
All right. We want to talk about fitness. We all need it. We all overweight. We all addicted to sugar, eating too many carbs, you name it. So we definitely want to welcome you and thank you for coming out. You're the first fitness professional that I've had on the show.
Okay, no pressure then, I guess.
All right, no pressure, no pressure. So we want to talk about, just tell us a little bit about where you're from and how did you get your start into fitness and weightlifting training and bodybuilding?
Yes, sir. So I'm originally from Cheverly, Maryland. That's right outside of D.C., about 15 minutes outside of D.C. Stayed there, left there in 1985, moved to Richmond, Virginia, went to high school there, college there, Radford, Virginia. A landmark is of reference is Virginia Tech. I was 20 minutes from Virginia Tech. So, and I went to school for this stuff. I have a master's in exercise science, and I always wanted to work in pro sports. So I could have probably I needed to intern. And I probably could have interned at UVA and maybe Tech at the time, but I was a big ACC guy, big Maryland guy, Terps at the time, Lynn Bias. I was up there for all that. Yes, but there was something about the Ramblin' Wreck, my B team, something about Georgia Tech basketball, So I graduated from college, knew I had to intern, wanted to work in the ACC. So I said, okay, I'm going to call down to Tech, see what I can do. So I called up the strength conditioning coach down there. He's still down there, Scott McDonald. Shout out to Scott. He's still down there. I was like, I want to intern. He said, come on down. So I got a job, and I interned when I wasn't working. Okay. So how I got into pro sports and baseball, I was at an NSCA convention. You could say that's the governing body of my profession. People call it that. Right. So I just happened to be sitting right next to the head strength coach for the New York Mets. And I asked him, what do I have to do to get on? He said, intern. I interned. They hired me. Okay. So I did that from 2001 to 2013. Okay. Second year in, I was diagnosed with FSGS. And as a reference for that, remember Alonzo Mourning? Yes. Remember that kidney disease he had? Yes. Had the same thing.
Oh, God.
So, yeah.
Devastating, yeah.
Yes. Right. But, I had it up until 2013, and the symptoms, the kidney was starting to fail, and both of them were starting to fail, so I had to retire. And came back here, and it was tough. I started making money again in, 2019. Had a transplant in 2017. Okay. I started making money again in 2019. It was tough, but, things have...
How long did you stay on the waiting list for the kidney?
About a year and 4 months.
Okay, that's a blessing, man. I know some people be there for 5, 10 years waiting for a kidney or longer.
Well, the thing is, none of my family's match. The guy I grew up with, an Irish white guy of all people. Right. Irish white guy was a match. And he just kind of, I put it on Facebook. He's like, yeah, I get tested, whatever, Right. Next thing you know, I'm an O. So the good thing about O, that's the universal blood type. Right. I'm an O, he's an O. So it was
so they kind of matched, yeah, okay. Man, that's a blessing. I'm happy to hear that.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, definitely. Something to be proud of and overcome. So, and definitely give you motivation.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, no doubt about that. So let's get back let's talk about sports as far as on the end of certifications.
Yes.
How important, or is it important to have just the basic certification versus having a degree in sports medicine and sports training? Can you tell us the difference between the two? Just, just your comparison.
Yes. Well, if you want to work at a professional level, you have to have the certification, you have to have the degrees. Okay. And these days, you're better off getting a PhD because everybody has a master these days that wants to be a strength coach. Okay. So if I could do it again, I might not be thrilled about it, but I would go the PhD route on top of the the masters. Right. And then certification. There's 2 certifications that I would recommend.
Which ones?
The NSCA, National Strength Conditioning Association.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, that's for strength coaches. If you want to be a strength coach, that's the way to go. Okay. strength coach and trainer wise, so you can do both, but I'm just talking about my experience.
Right.
Strength coach and trainer, NASM is good.
Okay.
I don't know how it is now, but the NBA was part of the NASM, National Academy of Sports Medicine. Yeah.
Right.
The NA, when they were establishing themselves, the NBA was kind of part of their program.
Okay.
And I think today, you know, the main certification in the NBA is going to be through the NASM, and baseball is definitely the NSCA.
Right.
And I think football is NSCA as well.
Okay. Let's talk about some of your clients right now. Mm-hmm. How did you go about getting your professional clients, your professional athletes, versus the general public?
Well, I'm up in Alpharetta. That's kind of like the mecca of baseball locally. So,
okay.
It's just word of mouth up there.
Okay.
Right now, it's obviously none of them are here, right?
Right.
The pros that I trained, they're like mostly like AAA guys.
Okay.
So still rising up.
Right.
I have a couple young guys that I trained that are potentially getting drafted.
Right.
This year, definitely, and next year.
Okay.
And that was just word of mouth.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. Can you name some of the pro athletes that you've trained?
I mean, I can name, when I was with the Mets, I can name them all.
Oh, okay.
Jose Reyes,
right.
David Wright, Jacob deGrom. He's with the Mets right now. So
okay.
Everybody you can name.
Right. Okay. Good deal. And let's talk about nutrition briefly. What do you recommend as far as meal preps? Or do you put your clients on a specific diet if they're trying to cut, or they're trying to gain weight? What do you recommend?
Yeah, that's a great question. I kind of see where you are. To start, I like to see where you are, because the cold turkey, just going from 0 miles an hour to 60 usually doesn't work.
Don't work out.
Yeah.
Right.
Most people have some positives to their diet, and they just,
it's something that they're eating is clean.
Yeah, exactly. So we can start with that.
And then we'll modify.
Exactly. Okay.
Because
you might be thinking you're addicted to something, you know, like you mentioned, you know, addicted to sugar. You might think you're addicted to whatever, let's say donuts.
Right.
But you might be to eat something over here that satisfies you, you know, satisfies that craving that's healthier.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So my rule in general is the 80-20 rule. You want to eat healthy 80% of the time.
Okay.
My job is to help you identify that 80.
Oh, okay.
And work with you on the 20.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And yes, meal planning is very important. When it comes to me, meal planning, I like the way I start things off is just a food journal, because the thing with athletes and people today, time.
Yeah.
Time. You know,
everybody's looking for that quick fix.
Exactly.
Right.
It's tough. It's a challenge. It can be challenging to have 4 or 5 meals a day.
Yeah, it is.
You know?
You don't have time, man. I don't have time.
That's what I'm saying, right? So. You know, we have to make adjustments. We can go with meal replacement shakes. If the people, you know, if people can afford it, we can have what I like for my athletes that can afford it. I like to just set you up on those companies that drop the meals off for you.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that because it's simple. Yeah.
Right.
It's simple. They take care of your caloric intake. It's all there.
I got you. Let's touch on supplements right quick. Do you recommend, which supplements do you recommend for your athletes that you train? Is it more creatine? Is it BCAAs? Whey protein? What do you recommend for your clients? As, you know, I know there's a lot of fat burners. There's a whole lot of supplements. You go in GNC, it's just you don't know what to choose, and what, you know, like you said, it just pertains on what you're trying to do with your exercise regimen.
No doubt. The first thing I want to do, I want to try to keep things clean as possible.
Okay.
The line that, the brand that I go with is called Isogenics.
Isogenics.
It's been around for 20-something years.
Okay.
They're known for not having any fillers in their ingredients, part of their ingredients, all clean stuff.
Right.
That's what I recommend.
Yeah.
They have different programs. They have a cleansing program, a 30-day weight loss / cleansing program.
Okay.
When I working with athletes, what I use is their AMP. The AMP fitness program.
I've heard of AMP.
Yeah, I use that mostly.
Okay.
Now, when my clients buy my largest package, they have the AMP included within the package.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
But that's what I recommend.
Okay. Is that expensive?
I mean, it depends.
Just
you know.
depends.
Yeah, it depends.
Right.
But my viewpoint is when you're dealing with clean ingredients,
You're going to pay.
Yeah, you're going to
expect to pay
exactly.
more.
Yeah, 'cause I have guys come up to me and say, "Yeah, I got this protein shake for
$14.99.
this big, but this big,
and
you know how many fillers that thing has in it.
That's true.
Yeah, you don't know what you're taking in.
That's true.
And you might not feel it now, but
later on.
Exactly.
Yeah, later on. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For a new client coming in and they tell you, "Hey, I'm just here. I just need to lose my belly fat," or is there a certain type of program, specific training program that you put them on based on their? I know it's all based on their specific needs and what it is that they're trying to do. Which basic routine do you recommend for someone just coming in, that's not an athlete, and just say, "Hey, I'm just here. I need to lose 20, 30 pounds."
Yes. So I like to put people on like a circuit or a HIT program.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, HIT program. It
Yes.
it depends where you are. Some people
Right.
rolling off the bed, getting started.
Yeah,
we're gonna start you there, right?
Right.
But some people, prior athletes or high-end professionals that are active, we can put them at another level.
Okay.
But I'm gonna put you in a circuit type, HIT type situation, and modify it for your needs, and just progress you. My thing is, everyone has an inner athlete. So we just got to get you to that point where you can
tap into it,
and that's when my program evolves to more like an athletic-based program, training regimen.
Okay. Can you tell us some more about your gym? Do you train at a facility, or you train at home, or just kind of tell us a little bit about your gym?
Yes, sir. So it's located in Alpharetta, Exit 12, McFarland, Highway 9, and it's a baseball performance center first.
Okay.
So I handle all the training of the athletes there, and I bring in, because there's teams that work out there that train there. The team it's called Smart Tents Baseball. Shout out to Smart Tents. Smart Tents Baseball trains out of the facility.
Okay.
And I train some of the players, and I bring my own players in.
Right.
But it's so you walk in, you're gonna see the baseball ambiance. Everything is baseball, yeah.
Okay.
But the way it's set up is you'll see cages everywhere, but all these cages slide back.
Yeah.
So we pull the cages back. Next thing you know, you have open area to do whatever you need. So I can get my sprints in. When you first walk in, the weights are there.
Okay.
So we like to call it a baseball one-stop shop.
Okay. Let's touch on different techniques as far as training techniques. Do you train bodybuilders?
I haven't, but it's all the same at the end of the day. Yeah.
So what's the difference between the training of, just say, someone who's training for a strongman competition, which is, like you said, primarily strength, versus a bodybuilder?
Great question. So a strongman is more about overcoming a lot of force in an athletic fashion.
Okay.
So a strongman could be throwing heavy kegs. So he needs to be able to recruit a lot of muscle fibers, produce a lot of force in athletic, from an athletic perspective or athletic movements, right? As a bodybuilder, because it's just as challenging, just different. Right. A bodybuilder needs to focus on the repetition, the volume, the type of lift, the type of contractions that you're creating,
and the form.
Yeah, the form, exactly.
Form is totally different. Yeah,
form. Yeah.
I watched those guys on ESPN when they had those competitions, the strongman competition. I'm like, oh man, I know that. Let's talk about carb loading.
Yes.
How important is that for athletes? Do you control their carbs, the intake of what they take? I'm just saying, somebody with a strength competition, a strength trainer would have more carbs versus someone that's trying to lose weight or just a regular athlete.
That's a good question. Carb loading can be, for maybe a football type athlete or a distance type athlete. It can be, I might recommend carb loading, but on a day-to-day basis, I don't really recommend carb loading.
Okay.
So like general population, we just go with a balanced meal plan.
Okay, I got you.
So.
Let's talk about some of your training program that you offer. I know one of your specialties is speed training. Yes. Can you just break that down gradually? What is speed training, and just kind of tell us about how you created your own formula for making that happen?
Yes. So speed training for me is about creating acceleration and maintaining acceleration. When I say that, acceleration is the start, coming off the line, right?
Okay.
And I want you, at some point, you're going to have to reach top velocity.
Okay.
Your goal as a sprinter, or I say like a power athlete, baseball, football, as those guys, your goal is to maintain that top velocity as long as possible. You want to achieve it and maintain it for as long as possible.
Okay.
And that's what I teach.
Okay.
And there's different ways to do that. I'm about to implement a system now. It's a 2-part system. We do a speed analysis or speed breakdown on the acceleration and your top velocity. I have an app that I use. You might have seen it, the Skeleton app, where it has a little connecting the dots and it analyzes all your movements.
Okay.
We have that for the mechanical side of your acceleration or your top velocity.
Right.
And then we have a graph that determines how much force and velocity you can produce. We call that force velocity profiling.
Okay.
And the way that works is you run about 40 yards. We measure the force that you're producing, and that will let us know specifically where you are as far as deficits with your sprints. An example, if your force is low, we need to do more things like pull heavy sleds.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Or do heavy, maybe even lift more.
Right.
But if your velocity is down, we need to do things type of drills where you don't spend a lot of time on the ground.
Okay, I got you.
Right. So like a reactive plyometric, like any type of quick foot type thing, when you hit the ground and pop right back up.
Right.
Those are the type of things we need to do when your velocity isn't where it needs to be.
Okay. All right.
But the program allows us to identify those things specifically.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to touch on as far as training? Give us 5 or 6 techniques for the average person that's interested in getting their body in shape. Just kind of give them some tips or advice.
Yes, sir. So, number 1, move. MOVE. You have to move.
Okay.
That's the foundation. You know, it sounds simple, but many of us take it for granted because we do what we're doing right now.
Okay.
A good part of the day. Move and be cognizant of what you put in your mouth. You know, you're not going to go from, again, 0 to 60 cold turkey, but let's be aware of whole foods versus eating a bunch of donuts.
I got you.
You know what I mean? So,
I can respect
and let's see what else. Mindset. Mindset's everything.
Okay.
You know, mindset. If you want to make this move to, sedentary to physical, you have to start with the mind first. You know, so there's so much motivation out there right now.
That's true.
Start listening to people that that you gravitate to. Start educating yourself on the fitness and nutrition. Look at the before and after pictures. Visualize the old you.
That's true.
That's a good way to get you motivated. And once you're out there, I like when I start off, I like the modified HIIT program. Body weight is the key starting off. Body weight squats, body weight lunges, push-ups. That's a great way to start seeing changes. It's safe, and it can be a catalyst for getting you in that gym. All right.
All right. Can you give them your contact information?
Yes, sir. My website is rkstrengthtraining.com. Y'all can check me out over there. And I'm really trying to grow my Facebook group right now. It's called Complete Athlete Development.
Okay.
I'd love to get people in there. Check it out. I think we're close to 500 right now. My goal is to get to 1,000 as quickly as possible. Started not too long ago.
Right.
And Instagram is RK Strength Training. So RK Strength Training on Instagram.
Okay.
And YouTube, same, RK Strength Training.
Okay. Well, there you have it. And for those who are looking to lose weight, build muscle, maintain what you've already built on your foundation, please do not hesitate to give Ronnie Kenyatta a call. And you gave your number, right?
I don't think so. I can give it to you. Oh,
okay.
To the audience?
Yes.
Okay, yes. It's 678-481-9890.
And we want to thank everybody for coming out. Thank you for watching Streetpreneur Podcast. Please catch us on our next episode, which we are always going to be featuring up-and-coming entrepreneurs, startup companies, and influencers. And we want to thank everybody for watching today. Please subscribe to the channel, and thank you.